Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Shocking surprise. Hope accepts Liam's ring on The Bold and the Beautiful. Full recap, October 28th. Love, heartbreak, and redemption collided in spectacular fashion on The Bold and the Beautiful this Monday, October 27th, as Hope Logan made a choice that could alter every dynamic in Los Angeles forever. After months of tension, confusion, and lingering passion, Hope finally gave Liam Spencer the answer he'd been waiting for, and her simple word, yes, set off a chain reaction that will reverberate through families, fashion lines, and rivalries alike. A proposal that stopped time. The episode opened with Liam standing in front of Hope at the Forrester cabin, ring in hand, heart pounding with the weight of history. The silence between them was electric, filled with memories of their past, from the days of romantic horseback rides to the devastation of betrayal and breakups. Hope's eyes shimmered with uncertainty as she looked down at the glittering engagement ring, the same one that symbolized countless restarts before. Liam's voice broke the silence. "Hope, I've made mistakes, too many. But if we can learn from them, maybe that's how we finally get it right." His words were raw, real, and uncharacteristically vulnerable. This wasn't the impulsive Liam who'd once waffled between Hope and Steffi. This was a man desperate for peace, and for the woman he believed was his destiny. Hope's expression softened, though her heart raced. Images of Thomas flashed in her mind, their creative connection, their stolen kisses, and the way he'd made her feel alive again when her marriage had fallen apart. But as she stared at Liam, she saw something else. History, safety, and a love that had been tested by every storm imaginable. Tears welled in her eyes as Liam held out the ring. "Let's start again," he said quietly. "Not for the world. Not for our families. Just for us." And then it happened, the moment that will have fans buzzing for weeks. Hope smiled through her tears and whispered, "Yes, Liam. I'll marry you." The emotional fallout. The instant Hope slipped the ring onto her finger, her emotions betrayed her composure. Relief, nostalgia, and a flicker of doubt danced across her face, while Liam pulled her into a heartfelt embrace. He promised that this time would be different, that their love would finally win out over the chaos that had defined them. But even in the warmth of that embrace, Hope's expression carried a shadow. Because deep down, she knew the story wasn't over, not with Thomas Forrester still very much in her heart, and not with Steffi Forrester bound to have something to say about yet another Lope reunion. At Forrester Creations, the air practically vibrated with the tension as news began to trickle through the halls. Brooke Logan was the first to hear, and her joy was palpable. "My daughter deserves this," she told Ridge, tears in her eyes. "After everything she's endured, she deserves happiness with Liam." Ridge, ever the realist, wasn't so sure. "Are you certain this isn't just another chapter in the same book?" he asked. "Because Hope and Liam, they never seem to end their story, they just keep rewriting it." Meanwhile, Thomas was in his office, sketching with an intensity that bordered on obsession. When Carter entered and casually mentioned Hope's engagement, Thomas froze mid-line. The pencil dropped from his fingers. "She said yes," Thomas repeated, voice low and disbelieving. Carter nodded, unaware of the storm he'd just unleashed. "Looks that way. Guess Hope and Liam are back on track." Thomas's expression hardened. "Back on track," he echoed bitterly. "We'll see about that." A ripple through the Forresters. Across town, Steffi Forrester was equally shaken when she heard the news. Although she had long claimed to have moved on with Finn, the idea of Liam reuniting with Hope stirred something complicated deep inside her. She confided in Finn, admitting, "It's strange, isn't it? After everything, they just circle back to each other. I want them to be happy, but I can't help wondering, for how long?" Finn, ever steady, wrapped his arms around her. "You can't save Liam from himself," he said. "Or Hope from her choices. All we can do is make sure their chaos doesn't touch us." But in the world of the bold and the beautiful, chaos has a way of creeping in where it's least wanted. And Steffi knew that Hope's yes wasn't the end of a love triangle, it was the rebirth of one. Hope's conflicted heart. Later in the episode, Hope found herself alone, staring at her reflection, and at the ring now sparkling on her finger. The weight of her decision began to settle in. She remembered the night she'd told Thomas that she wasn't ready to close her heart to him. She remembered the thrill of his gaze, the way he'd made her feel powerful, desirable, and understood. Now, she wondered if she'd just traded passion for peace, and if peace was enough. Brooke entered quietly, radiant with motherly pride. "You did the right thing," she told her daughter. "Liam loves you, Hope. That's all that matters." But Hope's voice trembled as she replied, "Is it? Because I love him, Mom, but part of me still feels like something's missing." Brooke brushed off the comment, convinced her daughter's doubts were temporary. But the audience knew better. Hope's story was far from settled, and the ghosts of her past weren't done haunting her yet. Thomas makes his move. In the final act, Thomas's heartbreak transformed into something far darker. Alone in his office, he tore the corner off one of his designs and crumpled it in his hand. The memories of Hope's laughter, her touch, and her whispered promises replayed in his mind. "She said yes to him," he muttered. "But she still feels me." Then, in a chilling moment, he picked up his phone and dialed, but the camera didn't show who he was calling. Only his cryptic final line gave fans a clue. "It's time we reminded Hope that not every ring means forever." The scene faded to black on Thomas's intense expression, leaving viewers with one haunting question. Is this the beginning of Thomas's redemption arc or his next obsession? A cliffhanger that changes everything. By the time the episode ended, the tone had shifted from romantic to ominous. Liam's joy was pure and heartfelt, but Hope's uncertainty cast a long shadow. As she looked down at her ring one last time, her face betrayed something she didn't want to admit: doubt. In true bold and the beautiful fashion, the final shot lingered, Hope alone in the cabin, twisting her engagement ring nervously as Thomas's voice echoed in her memory, whispering, "You deserve to be loved for who you really are." Monday's episode reminded viewers why this soap continues to captivate audiences after all these years, with complex love stories, emotional stakes, and choices that cut deep. Hope said yes to Liam, but in doing so, she may have opened the door to heartbreak all over again. And if Thomas truly intends to fight for her, Los Angeles hasn't seen the last of its most dangerous designer just yet. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment and share.